welcome everyone. We're recording today on a beautiful Sunday afternoon. At least here it's still sunny out. Weather's been really, really nice here in Tegucigalpa. And I'm very excited to be joined by my wonderful friend Matthew Peterson today.
Hello.
For what is the third episode. Am I right?
Yeah, you're right.
The third episode of Dialogue Tree. Matthew Peterson, do you want to greet our audience?
How's everyone doing? I hope you had a good week. I hope I guess this is going up on a Wednesday, so I hope you're having a good week. I forgot. And also, I hope you know it's the third episode because it's pretty hard to mess that up.
Pretty hard to mess that up. You're right. It's just so much going on in the world, dude. So much going on in my head. You know what I mean? It's just so many details that can just go right over my head. I just wanted to make that sure.
Yeah, no, you're right.
This is why we do a two-man show instead of just a one-man show. So I can have you to corroborate any of the details that I may get wrong, that I may be afraid to get wrong.
That's true. Also, I just feel crazy if I was talking alone.
Yeah, right. It was weird. When I used to do those YouTube videos, it was weird, right? It was weird to talk by myself, but it was also kind of liberating.
Okay.
If that makes any sense.
You were playing a video game, you know what I mean? We're sitting here.
You're right. Not really like engaging in any other activity besides just speaking onto a microphone.
Yeah.
That makes sense. I also want to apologize to everyone. We didn't quite announce this, but we were supposed to have Nick K join us today. That was unfortunately for reasons that we could not foresee. He has unfortunately passed away, and we will never. Damn it, I couldn't finish that.
God rest his soul.
I couldn't finish that without laughing. God damn it. Yeah, he has unfortunately passed away, and we will never be able to have him on the show. Sorry to disappoint everyone.
Yeah. I know everyone is looking forward to this special guest we didn't announce.
Yeah. Eventually we'll have some special guests, hopefully.
Alive, yeah.
Alive and of the same weight and caliber as Nick K.
Weight? I don't know how much he weighs. Or do you mean like in the international community?
Yeah.
No, we definitely will.
We definitely will. How's your week? You said you go to that thing yesterday?
I did.
Inventory thing?
I have to make a correction also because I forgot that the boss actually has two first names, which is why I was having trouble remembering. It's not even Joe, it's John. He's Dave John.
Okay.
Which is like, I mean, it's those are both generic names, but the combination of them is actually highly unique.
Did you see he has two first names? Is that how you worded that?
Yeah, isn't it?
Well, is Dave? So is John his surname or?
Yes.
Okay, I get it. I get it. Yeah, that is
very
odd.
Strange.
That is odd. You don't really see that here. People whose surname is also like a name that could work for as a first name. It's not quite common here. So it'll always throw me off. So it's Dave John. How'd you come up with Joe, man? Where'd that come from?
I just knew it was a generic name, and I thought it was Joe for some reason. But now I was thinking of John.
You sounded so confident.
Yeah, I thought it was. I would have been wrong too if like someone else hadn't said it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you're right. Oh, I would have
just called him Joe.
You would have showed up and called him Joe. Yeah, that would have been excellent. It would have been probably an awkward situation. Him just like, hey, that's not my name. Excellent.
Anyway, that's not important. I didn't want to have any false information out there.
Inconsistencies.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's totally fair.
Anyways, it was terrible.
Yeah, it doesn't quite sound like fun. How long were you there for?
Let me do some mental math. I should be able to do this faster. God. I'm gonna say 13 to 14 hours, like around that area.
Shit, dude, for real? Damn.
Yeah.
13 to 14 hours, like working?
Well, so there's lunch break, you eat dinner, and there's also a period where you do nothing, but you still get paid while they they like type up all the stuff that you've recorded. Yeah, and then then they double check it, so you have to wait for them to finish that. So you just kind of sit around for some hours.
But you still have to be like there the entire time, which can get like tedious, I guess.
Yeah. but it was just bad because there weren't enough people, and it was kind of like a mess there.
What were you doing an inventory for? Like, what kind of items?
Mostly car parts.
Okay. Are you now any more familiar with car parts, or not any more than you were before going in?
Yeah, like slightly. Now I know what an oil filter looks like.
Okay, yeah, exactly. Car parts and car things is something that I've never really like learned anything about.
Yeah, it's kind of bad because it says on the list what the item is supposed to be, so you have like a better idea when you're looking for it. But I don't know what any of it is even supposed to remotely look like, so I have to like ask someone.
Yeah. Cool. How was the rest of your week? Besides that, did you play any more Symphony?
Yeah, actually, I was going to give a small update on it.
Oh, sorry for jumping the boat.
No, it's fine. I'll just talk about it now. The first thing I wanted to say is I checked, and the remaster of Symphony is pretty much the same. There's a little bit extra content.
So there's not a lot of quality of life improvements.
They redid all the voice acting, which most people don't like, because people like the classic voice acting.
Yeah, they made it supposedly a little less cheesy, is what I understand, right? Like that was the purpose of re-recording everything.
Yeah, it's not even like better audio quality. They changed the lines too, which is weird.
They changed the lines, right.
I think the idea was to be closer to the actual Japanese.
Okay, but it took away some of the charm, right? Because like some of the weird translation issues from the original one just kind of made it all the more charming. I understand.
Yeah, I feel like that Dracula speech at the beginning is kind of, as far as Castlevania things go, at least it's an iconic thing.
Yeah. Dude, speaking of Castlevania, not to like sound redundant or anything, but my God, isn't it a fucking horrible night to have a curse?
That was good. I didn't expect that.
I'm glad you liked it.
Oh yeah, so the other half is once you get the second half of the game, I guess.
Yeah.
It just gets so hard immediately.
No shit. How so?
The difference between the last room in the first half and the first room in the second half is like night and day.
No way. But like, what is harder about it?
There's so many more enemies and just stuff on screen, and I take more hits. Okay. There's like a ability that lets you go kind of invincible and fly. You turn into mist.
Oh shit, okay.
And I literally never used it throughout the entire game. I only used it for it's required to like open a door, but now I like always need to use it to like cheese a really hard room because there's too many enemies for me to tank.
Right now you like spam it. Damn, dude.
I think what it might be is that you can do it mostly in any order, but then when you get to the second half, you have to enter from one spot, so you're kind of bottlenecked is maybe what's happening, but it's super hard. It sucks.
So what is the second half? Is it just like the castle inverted? I understand. Is that right?
Yeah, it's the same layout, but switched.
Yeah, and there's just much more.
So it's very. It makes you like really second guess yourself when you're trying to get around.
Okay, yeah. And there's just like a lot more enemies and shit like that.
Yeah, and they do repopulate the items.
Oh, okay, that's good.
Which is cool.
So you'll still get like potions and stuff like that, and like health augments and whatever.
Yeah. But we went and we explored this whole area that's like an optional area, and we got all to the end, and there was just this one equipment that makes one of the sub weapons slightly stronger. That was all we got.
Oh damn!
And we already used the save point in there, so then we had to backtrack all the way out of it. It was just like a waste of 20 minutes.
Right. Damn. So did you actually finish it yet?
Oh no, probably. I assume just halfway.
Damn, dude.
Like I don't know how many bosses are in the second version of the castle.
Right. Yeah, I started playing a little bit of Dawn of Sorrow, and it's just so fucking cool, man. I don't know. There's something so stylish about those games that just really, as I mentioned, I think on a previous episode, I just really enjoy the Metroidvania genre. I think it's cool to just like explore and like get lost in this place, and just trying to find literally whatever it is that you need to open whatever is gating your progress. I think there's something like addictive to that. But beyond that, right? I just like the combat variety. I just like the different amount of weapons that you can use and everything. It's just a style, man. Soma just looks so cool. All the monsters, the sprite are just excellent, and the animations are just, I don't know. It's just to me, it's just really, really cool to look at. Besides the fact that it's like a genre that I like. And that mechanically it works really well and everything. Like it's just, to me, it's just really, really cool to look at.
Yeah, no, I do like the style of the enemies in that game and the way everything looks.
Right.
The story is weird.
Yeah, there's a lot of it too. Like I played for like 20 minutes, and for those first 20 minutes, there's a lot of dialogue. As you're progressing, you find people like in the rooms, and they just talk a lot of bullshit that I don't really like care about.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know. I feel like the story.
Yeah, I wouldn't say it's too interesting, but it is unique to a Castlevania game, that's for sure.
Because it's all just kind of the same, right? Like it's still just like people trying to find Dracula and eliminate him, and like destroying the castle, right? So like,
well, I don't want to spoil the end of the game.
Okay, sure. But what I'm saying, okay, I mean that's fair. But isn't like that?
But yeah, everyone you talk to is who is there is like trying to take down Dracula.
Right. Like I understand like every game is gonna have like a variation of that, but that's exactly what I mean, right? Like it's just gonna be some variation of the same formula. So like in the end, I don't know. To me, anyway, is as long as I know what the purpose is and what the formula has been for all the Castlevanias, like it's just ultimately ends up just feeling secondary anyway. You know what I mean? Like regardless of what they try to do to try to break the formula a little bit, I don't know. It just ends up feeling kind of secondary to me. It is cool though. So many goddamn games, man. I wanted to start that one. I don't know why, but I really wanted probably all the Castlevania talk that we've been having for the last couple of weeks. It's making me want to play it. But I do have also Mario Odyssey in there that
I forgot you got that.
It's so cool, and I want to get to that. And then Enter the Gungeon, like I want to keep playing it just because it's cool. But like it is like an arcade game that you don't really have to like dedicate a lot of time to. You know what I mean? Like it's one of those games that I can just like pick it up and go whenever. So like I'm not worried about that. But like I feel like I should commit to either Odyssey or Dawn of Sorrow.
Did you not play Odyssey at all?
I did. I played through. I got enough moons to go to the third world or whatever.
Oh, okay. Called. So you played some of it.
Yeah, I played some of it, and it's excellent. I love it. Like visually, man, it's just so pleasant.
Yeah.
What I like about it is that the worlds are pretty large in that game. And there's so much shit to do, and like there's so many goddamn moons in each world that like you can just like be messing around, but then you end up doing something and you get a moon, right? You know what I mean? Like even just for you, like running around and like messing around with like how the world works and messing around with the characters and whatever, you'll still get rewarded for it, even though you're just like exploring or trying to not really like, even though you may just be like aimlessly exploring just to like see everything, you'll end up getting rewarded, and that's just I think it works really, really well.
Yeah, it's hard to get stuck trying to scrounge for moons to leave. There's a lot.
There's a lot, dog. Yeah,
you'll definitely have enough by the time you go back to the ship to leave if you want to leave that place.
Yeah, there's a lot more than I like really expected there to be. The last sort of 3D Mario game.
I don't remember how many there are.
Well, there's like I've found like at least like anywhere between 15 and 20 in both of the worlds that I played. Considering like when you compare that to Mario Galaxy, when there's just like I don't know, it's just like a fraction of that.
Yeah, well, Mario Galaxy is definitely a different game.
Yeah, but you know what I mean? Like, it's like, in terms of like the 3D Mario formula, I guess is what I mean.
I think Mario Galaxy is more like mission based, you know?
Okay. But you're right. Cause then you go in and then like the world even like, you go into like a certain planet and depending on what mission you're doing, the world will even like change.
Yeah, like drastically.
Yeah. No, you're right. That makes sense.
It's like Sunshine or 64.
Which are actually games that I've never really played a lot of. I never owned 64. I tried playing it on the DS, but I didn't really like the port. I feel like
I don't like the DS port either.
I feel like they went with the DK64 route, where some of the stars are like specific to some of the characters, so you have to like go back and I don't know. I just don't like having to like guess what star is specific to what character and whatever. I guess I just really wanted to have like the original experience, and which is complicated, right? Because again. Great. Right, exactly. But then I guess it's complicated because a lot of the people, some of the criticisms that people have with remakes is that they don't really add a lot of content. So I guess that's what they were going for. But I don't know. I guess it's not what I wanted from it. So I never really played a lot of that either.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever played any of Sunshine. I've seen some of it. I've seen Game Grumps play it. And I don't keep watching it because this is the kind of game that I guess I would like to go into eventually. So I haven't really like finished seeing the Game Grumps series on it. so that I don't get spoiled. And then I played some of Galaxy. Galaxy is gorgeous, man. What a game!
Yeah, I love Galaxy. I think I beat Galaxy 1.
Yeah. Did you ever play the second one?
I played it. I don't remember if I beat it or not. They're kind of a blur. They're good though.
Right. It's kind of the same, right? It's kind of what I understand. Pretty much the same game. What I do like about Galaxy is the little sort of story that you get with Rosalina. Is that right? Is that the name?
Yeah, that's her name.
Yeah. The story, like the storybook, is really, really cool. It reminds me a lot of The Little Prince, which is one of my favorite books of all time.
Yeah,
just like a cool little detail.
I think Paper Mario Thousand Year Door is like that too. I think it's been a while since I played it.
That's another game that I've really meant to get to at some point.
That game's really good.
Have you played all the way through it?
Yeah, I finished both Paper Mario 1 and the Thousand Year Door.
Oh, damn, dude.
Yeah. The Wii game is like, I played it and I didn't like it, but it's not terrible. And then the new ones are horrible.
I've heard the new ones are pretty weird. The Thousand Year Door is supposed to be like a huge game though, right? Like at least 30 hours or so. Is that right?
Yeah, it's long.
Damn, yeah, it's cool, man. I want to get into it. I guess I could. Well, I'm not going to say it on live TV because that's the moral of last episode's podcast. But there is a certain way that I could acquire it and I could play it hopefully eventually. There's just so many goddamn games that I want to play, dog. As I was telling you, I have all these. I have this huge backlog already. I will get to it though. I do like the Mario RPGs. However, I don't think I've ever finished any other except Bowser's Inside Story. That's an excellent game.
Well, they're kind of in like two series because there's the Paper Mario one and then the Mario and Luigi ones.
Yeah, they do fuse, right? There is the one game where they kind of get fused. Is that right?
Which one is that? I don't remember.
I don't know, but I think that might be a thing that Mario and Luigi kind of fuses it together. It's somewhere on the 3DS, I believe, if I'm not mistaken.
That sounds cool. I hope it's not terrible. I'd like to play it.
Yeah. But I understand that they're two different series, but like a lot of the charm remains kind of similar, right? Like a lot of the the goofy type humor and all that.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah. So Bowser's Inside Story is excellent. I think that's the only one that I've ever played all the way through. I know I played a lot of Mario RPG. I know I played a lot of the original Mario and Luigi, the first one for the GBA, but I never finished either.
Yeah. My God. I never could finish Legend of the Seven Stars, which is a shame because it's really good.
What's the farthest you've gotten, if you can remember?
So I got Geno and I got this star from this like shooting star place.
Okay.
And I went to I think I got Peach and then I stopped playing the game.
Okay. Yeah, that sounds just about right. I don't know exactly where I left it off. Because I've been playing it on my Super Nintendo Classic, but I know for sure that I've put at least like 10 hours into it, and it still feels like I have ways to go.
Yeah, I think it's long.
I don't remember who was in my party, but I'm sure I had even Bowser in my party. But yeah, it's excellent.
It's so out there for a Mario game. Like nothing was like it at the time, so it's kind of revolutionary.
Exactly. As you were talking, I was just gonna say like Mario had never quite had that much personality when that game came out. So it is interesting. And what I did play, I did enjoy everything about it, right? Like even like the storyline and just animations, right? They do a lot with however little animation there actually is. They kind of do a lot with it. They kind of add a lot of character, even though there's not a lot of like different animations. I feel like they add enough character to make the game just like super, super charming.
Yeah. The only part I didn't like was that underground sewer maze.
Oh, yeah, that was annoying. You're right. That was super annoying.
But once I got through it, it was fine.
Even the platforming sections are just kind of weird because, weirdly isometric 3D environment.
Oh, yeah, there's like a minecart thing.
Yeah. Those parts get odd, but overall, it's a pretty good game. Worth playing for sure. Maybe eventually I'll get back to it.
I don't think I'll ever finish it, but it was cool to play it, to see it.
I wonder if Spencer ever finished it. I know he was playing it on his phone before he left.
Oh, really?
Talked to us about it, yeah.
That's probably the only kind of thing you can emulate on your phone, right?
Yeah, because there's not a lot of the battles are just turn-based and stuff.
Yeah,
so.
You have to play like that or Pokemon or something.
Yeah.
Imagine playing Mega Man 2 on your phone.
That must be quite an experience.
Yeah, it's probably like playing with the Power Glove.
Yeah. Have you ever seen one of those? Like, have you ever had one of those like in front of you?
No, I've never seen one in real life.
Okay. That must have been a thing.
I'd love to.
Yeah. I'd love to like experiment with one.
I love that they put an NES controller on the arm of it, so you can just take off the glove and play with it like a controller. Like, why?
Yeah, they probably knew that was going to be garbage, so like I guess they gave the people the choice to, you know. Yeah, dude.
Nintendo made some weird stuff.
I found an old Game Genie when I moved back home.
Oh.
Yeah, like for the original. There's no way for me to know because it's for the original Game Boy, and I don't really have any original Game Boy carts anymore. I just have Game Boy Advance carts, and I'm actually not even sure if it would work because the only Game Boy that maybe could work that I own is the Advance SP. But once again, I don't have any original Game Boy carts, so there's no way for me to try it.
I don't know. I never used the Game Genie or Action Replay or anything like that when I was a kid.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think I ever used it. I remember owning it. Like I remember seeing it when I was a child. I remember it being in my house, but I don't think I ever actually used it. I don't know who did because I don't really see my brother really doing a lot with it, especially with an original Game Boy. Like how you know what I mean? What could you possibly actually want to do with a Game Genie on the games that came out on the original Game Boy? Not that we had very many either. I remember owning Tetris, which of course, because it came bundled with the device, and then Street Fighter. I guess it was a port of Street Fighter 2, which was kind of garbage. It was functional, but it was kind of garbage. Well, those were the only two games that I remember owning, and I just don't really know how much you can do with a Game Genie.
That sounds terrible. I've never seen it, but just playing Street Fighter on Game Boy sounds really bad.
It's awful, dude. Yeah, I remember it. And like, if you're a child and you have a Game Boy, you're just gonna play it without really realizing how bad it is. But thinking back on it and like seeing, because sometimes I got curious and like I remember having that game, so I would just like look it up on people playing it on YouTube and like just as a sort of like retrospective, and it's just kind of, once again, it's functional. It'll work, but it's definitely far, far from ideal.
Right. Yeah. I know they put Mortal Kombat on the Game Boy and it was terrible.
Yeah. Which is funny because I used to have, I don't remember what it was called. I think it was just actually called Mortal Kombat Advanced. I used to love it, but apparently, like looking back at reviews and people talking about it, it's supposed to be super, super garbage. Even though it looks the part, like graphically, it definitely looks like Mortal Kombat. And I don't even, if remembering what I played of it, I couldn't even tell you what was bad about it. Like it was super hard, yeah, but beyond that, to me, when I was like whatever in like the 4th or 5th grade when I played it, it seemed like a perfectly functional Mortal Kombat game.
Yeah, but when you're a kid, you don't really know how to assess something like that.
Yeah, you're right. I guess you're right. You're right.
I definitely had some like terrible games growing up that I just didn't like realize were awful.
What do you think was the worst game that you used to play as a child that you've come eventually to realize that they're actually poor games? I have a couple.
Probably like Sonic Heroes. I thought was awesome.
Of course, man. Of course. That's great. I love to hear that.
I thought it was so cool that there was I think there were 4 different storylines and they all had 3 different characters. You could like switch between them.
Shit, okay.
Actually, I have a weird memory of this because do you ever have a TV with like those weird picture-in-picture functions that like make it really small?
Yeah, you can, and it would be like at a corner of the screen.
Yeah. I remember playing it. I remember playing it in the little picture-in-picture because my parents, I think they wanted to watch the O.J. Simpson trial.
No way, dude! I don't believe it.
And I was playing Sonic Heroes.
Wait,
I didn't want to stop playing it. But like you can't see the rails when it's that small, so I just kept dying. But
you can barely
I was
see
like
anything,
determined to play Sonic Heroes. Yeah, it was bad.
How long ago? Not to get off topic, but how long ago was the O.J. Simpson's trial? How long ago was that? I thought that was like early '90s or some shit. To be honest, I just have have no idea.
O.J. Simpson trial. It might not have been, but they definitely were watching a court trial. Damn it! It just says when the murder took place.
The shit.
Alleged murder.
Which could have been years before the actual trial, yeah.
Let's see, 1996. Yeah, so I was too young. Yeah, I would have been too young. They must have been watching something else.
Yeah.
But I don't know what.
Okay.
What famous trials were happening in like 2002? I don't know.
Dude, I have no idea. I don't know. Wasn't Saddam Hussein tried?
Was he? I thought they just killed him.
I don't know why I'm thinking about that, but well, like he was killed after being tried, I think.
I don't know if this is the trial that I'm thinking of, but Daniel is right. Saddam Hussein was tried in Iraq and sentenced to death there.
But I guess that was something that happened around that time. They could have been watching that for all we know.
Yeah, I was definitely not old enough to like understand. Yeah.
Well, you played fucking Sonic Heroes. That's great. That's great.
Oh man.
What the hell was even Sonic Heroes on? Was it one of those that wasn't like on all the platforms? Like GameCube,
yeah, it was
PS2,
on multiple.
whatever?
I was playing it on an Xbox, but it was on a lot of stuff, I believe.
Okay, damn, yeah.
I was like one of the few kids who had an Xbox eventually when I finally got one.
Yeah, I've never known anyone who had an except for my cousin who used to like literally own all the platforms that ever came out. I don't think I ever knew anyone else who had an original Xbox.
We had it instead of the PlayStation because my dad thought Halo would be cool,
which is super fair.
Yeah,
it's a super fair like argument though.
Yeah, not that it was so awesome. Like I shouldn't have been playing Halo, but I loved Halo.
Yeah. I've never played a lot of it, but I understand that it was pretty much the game that revolutionized first-person shooters after, because GoldenEye is like it's like classic, but like mechanically it was still not like optimized. It was weird. Yeah. And I understand that Halo was the game that like pretty much shaped first-person shooters into what they are now.
Yeah, that's pretty accurate, I would say.
Yeah. Do you have any other games that you thought were like fucking awesome growing up that you come to realize are actually kind of garbage? I have a couple.
Yeah, go for one.
Well, I'm just gonna name them first. I played The Simpsons. I played The Simpsons Wrestling. I don't know if you've heard of that shit.
I've never heard of that.
It's garbage, dude. On the original PlayStation. Both games that I'm going to talk about were actually on the original PlayStation.
Okay.
But The Simpsons Wrestling is garbage, dude. And the thing was that I never realized. I thought it was hard, right? I thought it was unfairly hard even when I was little and I was trying to beat it. But it you know what I mean? Like I was never. I guess I never thought about how like bullshit it was, because nowadays if I played a game like that, I'd be like, yeah, this is bullshit, and I wouldn't even like keep playing it. But as a child, even though I realized that it was unfairly hard and that controls were not really doing what I wanted them to do and whatever, like to me it was like, okay, I'm a kid and I own this game, so I guess I just have to like keep fucking playing it.
Yeah, terrible. It's like, I have the game, I gotta play it.
Yeah, no, the controls are awful. The animations and the graphics are pretty weird too. Moveset, nothing really does what it's supposed to do, and it's just really bad game. Really bad. But I guess I liked it because I've always liked The Simpsons, but back then I would, there was still around the time that licensed game were pretty garbage, and that's again one of those things that I would have never known growing up.
Yeah, you wouldn't really have the the critical eye for that kind of thing,
right? And the other one was just also on the original PlayStation, which is Contra: Legacy of War. Damn, that game was garbage, dude. Once again, I went for it because I remember loving the Contra 3 on the Super Nintendo, and so I figured it's another Contra, man. What could possibly go wrong? And as once again, as a child, I was just playing without realizing how bad it was. I never really saw most of it because it was really hard and really stupid and clunky and janky as hell. So I never really got too far into it, but it's really bad, man. So it's like 3D, it's isometric. The original, I never had the analog controllers for the original PlayStation, so I played with the D-pad. The graphics were atrocious. It was just kind of like 3D kind of sprites, just like very similar to what the DK games did with the Super Nintendo, just kind of like 3D sort of sprites. and I don't know, dude. This is
Okay,
awful game. You should like look it up at some point.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Speaking
Really,
of
really bad
awful
game.
Contra games, I did not know I don't know what it's called, the new one they just came out with. You know what I'm talking about? I didn't know it was like that
Rogue
bad.
Corp or whatever.
Yeah.
It looks terrible. It looks very similar. It actually looks in concept. It looks very similar to this game that I'm talking about right now.
Yeah, it is Rogue Core. Yeah. Okay.
Which is why I was super thrown off by it. Like put off by it. I mean,
I hadn't heard anything from it, and then I was at my friend's house. Because we were gonna play something tonight, but he was like, "You have to see the trailer for this game because this game is horrible."
Yeah,
and
dude.
Even if you just watch the trailer, you like they have this awful atmosphere of like trying too hard to be cool. Like there's a panda character, and they're like, "Oh my god, so random." There's a panda character, and it just has like that awful vibe to it. But apparently, the gameplay itself is also just not fun.
Well, it just doesn't look like a Contra game at all, right? So the way that I see it,
your gun overheats.
You get right. Like, come on, dude. You know, like, I don't think I ever stop shooting when I'm playing Contra 3. You know, like,
yeah.
I understand maybe they were trying to add some kind of weird sort of strategy, but they could have done something else, something far less annoying than having your gun overheat. God damn.
Oh my god, yeah.
But even beyond that, like from what I gather, is just kind of you go into like a room and there's just like waves and waves of enemies, and once you clear that, maybe there's like a tiny little bit of platforming to get to the other room, but that's it, right? Like it's not like you're progressing through like a level that has multiple challenges in terms of like the enemies coming at you and like platforming challenges or whatever. It's just rooms, waves of enemies, move on to the next room, wave of enemies, that kind of deal.
None of the trailer even showed platforming. I didn't know this game even had it.
I'm assuming it might have because there's jumping. I actually don't even know, but I know the characters jump. Yeah, that's for sure. But yeah, it looks and even graphically, man, for like a game that came out in 2019 or whatever the hell year we are on right now, it just doesn't look good at all. It looks like muddy, texture just like garbage. It's like a fucking $40 game. Like if it was $5 or $10 or whatever, maybe I'd just like give it a shot just for like the novelty of having a new Contra game and maybe supporting the Contra name, if you will, so that there may be some demand for future Contra games.
One that doesn't suck.
Yeah, but like it's just fucking $40, man. Forget that shit.
Yeah, no way. It just sucks that it has like if it wasn't named Contra, people wouldn't even look at it.
Yeah, but like it's named Contra, which is one of my favorite games ever, so I'm just like offended by it.
I just had no idea how egregious it was until recently.
Yeah. What else, dog?
Oh my god, Daniel, you hear it? It's time. It's coming.
Oh shit!
It's the hot take.
Actually, hot take alert.
You want to do it first, or should I?
I can take it.
Okay, go ahead.
This is going to be probably pretty hot takey, or maybe not. I don't know. This is something that I've been thinking about for a long time. So I remember the first time that I ever saw snow. It was around, I believe, November of 2012 when my first semester at college, my first semester in Wisconsin. And I was super, super excited about it, right? Because like to me, I'd always seen snow on like TV and whatever, but I've never actually like experienced this thing that happens on Earth, like on our planet, that some people, many people around the globe, like live with and have lived with their entire life. So to me, it was like a really, really huge thing, right? So of course, I take a nice picture of me in the snow, and of course, I put it up on social media with a nice caption saying like, "Yeah, it's my first time seeing snow," and whatever, you know. Trying to make it memorable, I guess, if you will. And I remember a lot of people were commenting on it, like a lot of people that I knew, like maybe like friends from high school or people that I knew who had like maybe been like they've gone as exchange students to for like a fucking year somewhere where it snowed. And I had a couple of those people comment on my photo saying like, "Yeah, you like it now, but then you'll hate it later." And like, I get it. Like, I understand that snow is inconvenient, but dude, like, as I'm telling you, most of the people who commented that kind of stuff were people who like never really like grew up with it or anything, or had lived extensively in places where it snows a lot. They had just been like one season, like one winter somewhere when it snowed. You know what I mean? And now they were back living like either here in Honduras or somewhere else. So I was like, whatever. You know what I mean? Like, it's not like you were born somewhere where it snows and you've lived in snow your entire life. And like, this is my first time seeing snow. And to me, it's a huge deal. So just let me like enjoy it. You know what I mean? Let me just like enjoy it. And I was thinking about that because I saw somewhere like around, it was probably this week that I saw someone, share the memory on Facebook of like their first time seeing snow. They were like, oh, like 4 years ago today or whatever, it was the first time that I saw snow. And then someone else commented under that saying like, and now we don't want to see it. And I don't know, dude. I'm the kind of dude that, like, you know what I mean? I try not to take anything for granted, even weather stuff. You know what I mean? I think there's something interesting about, especially for me, having grown up in Honduras, which is basically just warm all year round, except in the city where I live in Tegucigalpa, it gets kind of cooler between October and February, but it's still like hot. You know what I mean? It's not like the coldest it gets is maybe 15 degrees Celsius, which is not anywhere below, I wouldn't say, like 55 Fahrenheit. So like to me, even though snow might have been inconvenient, and even though like I understand that like whenever I had to deal with snow, I always had the opportunity of like having some kind of refuge against snow. You know what I mean? Like I always had a house and like a place to be. You know, right. It's still, to me, you know what I mean? It was one of the things that like made me excited about being in New England and being in Worcester, because there was something that I never really enjoyed or experienced when I, for the entirety of my life before going to New England, before going to Worcester. If I was able to stay in Worcester, like I would try not to complain about it, you know what I mean? Or act as if like I hate it and whatever, because it's just part of it. You know what I mean? It's part of life. People live with it. People deal with it. And especially once again, for me, like having never experienced it during my entire like upbringing, it's something like super, super, it's something like super cool about, and something that actually attracts me of being in Worcester, being in New England. Does that make any sense? Am I making any sense at all?
I think you're trying to say your hot take is that snow is good.
Maybe not necessarily good, but like, I don't know. I guess it's just, what upset me is like, you know what I mean? People make like a lot bigger deal than it is. You know what I mean? It's something that happens. Mm-hmm. It's something that the earth does. And I feel like there's something like marvelous about it. You know what I mean? Something that happens naturally. I think there's something marvelous about it, but people just like to complain about it because, oh yeah, it's snow, it sucks, whatever, it gets dirty, whatever. You know what I mean? I try not to take it for granted. I try to see like the beauty in it, you know?
Yeah. I like the way snow looks.
I guess I don't like seeing people complain about it, especially when it looks like they're complaining too much about it. Once again, because I just, you know what I mean? I try not to take like things nature gives us for granted. So yeah, I guess that's,
especially if it's not like actually disabling.
Yeah, exactly.
You know? Like there are times when it's actually, it becomes unsafe because there's too much snow, but that's usually not the case.
Of course. So yeah, I guess that's the bottom line of it.
Okay.
Yeah.
I like that one.
Thank you. I've been thinking about it. Okay. I guess I didn't think about it enough to like have a better way of wording it, because I did like stutter a lot with it. But I think ultimately my point got across.
Mine is way more like inflammatory, I guess.
Okay.
not like politically.
Yeah.
In general,
I like the word inflammatory.
Pokemon Red or whatever Gen 1 game you like is much better than Pokemon Ultra Sun, Ultra Moon. I think you could still compare them. They're both Pokemon games.
I'm going to interrupt you because I don't really know much about these. Is Sun and Moon, Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon, are those different generations? Or like a new generation, or one of those like that are kind of like remakes?
No, I guess they stopped doing the thing where there's a like Emerald. Instead, they just have an Ultra version. So it's the same game, but there's more stuff or whatever.
Okay, but it's a new generation. It's not like a remake.
It's the same generation, and it's the same game with the same story and stuff.
Okay, I get you.
I don't even know what's different between Sun and Moon and Ultra Sun and Moon, really.
Okay, I get you. Okay, sorry, go on.
I just think they're so boring. They're so awful. You have to sit in a cutscene, and then it puts a marker on your map to tell you where the next cutscene is, and you walk to the cutscene and you stand there and watch it, and your character is never allowed to say anything in the dialogue, and you just stand there and people talk at you about friendship or whatever, and it's just like, I want to just go catch Pokemon and play the game. I don't care about any of this.
Okay, yeah.
And there's like so much variety, and it looks really good, and there's so many quality of life changes, and Red or what, Gen 1 is a buggy mess. It's a terrible game, like objectively. It just it just doesn't work most of the time. But you are just allowed to go wherever you want, even maybe too much. Even maybe you can get places you shouldn't be able to for the lower you are.
So much so you can like break the game.
Yeah. You have a lot more freedom to do whatever you want.
Yeah.
Even if it's BS and doesn't work, I just hate having the story told at me in a game.
Yeah, it seems like it's like artificially sort of like structured too much.
Yeah, and it's not like that having a story is bad, but there's so many cutscenes, dude. They're everywhere. Everywhere you go, like there's a cutscene at the beginning and in the middle of an area, and you have to watch them all while you walk through it. It's an endurance run.
Right. So he just takes out that element of like you just like being out there and like kind of going wherever you think you should be going, as opposed to the game telling you where you have to go to like progress the story and whatever.
Yeah, and the story is like, it's whatever. It's a Pokemon game. It's for kids.
Right. It's not going to be anything like deeper, and
it's not worth me being forced to look at.
Yeah.
If if you could skip text boxes and everything, then whatever. But it's not instant. You still have to mash through it all.
Yeah. Are you interested in playing the new ones at all?
Probably not.
Probably not.
I don't know. I would play it if someone let me borrow it. I just don't want to buy it.
Right. That's what I was. That's like the kind of vibe that I get. I feel like, it's going for a premium $60, but it kind of looks and feels like a 3DS game still. You know what I mean? So I feel like
there's a lot of I guess backlash. I don't know if you saw any of that.
Yeah, because they're actually using like 3DS models and shit like that, right? Is that correct?
So I don't like follow the story, but apparently Game Freak announced that they wouldn't have all Pokemon, which is that's pretty reasonable.
Yeah, of course, there's a shitload of them.
And but then they said we can't have them all because we're making a new model for every Pokemon,
which is false.
Yeah, and then it turns out they just reused all the models, so they lied. And if they hadn't lied, it would still be reasonable. But it's weird that they lied.
It's weird that they lied. Yeah, why would they do that? Yeah. Just messing up their like PR and stuff like that. I would be interested in playing just for the novelty of it, just because I want to. I've never been a part of like the new Pokemon game being released and like the excitement over it. But then again, a lot of the people that I know, like you and like my friends here, that like grew up playing Pokemon and would always like be excited about the new Pokemon, like even they are not excited about these new ones. So like I feel like I wouldn't even be a part of anything anyway. Yeah.
you know about like Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee and stuff, right?
Yeah, like the remakes of the first generation. Is that right?
Yeah, it's like a soft remake on Switch.
Right. But the mechanics are totally different, right? Even like catching them and everything, you don't really like fight them. You just like, it's kind of like Pokemon Go, right?
Yeah, I don't hate it though, because there's no random encounters. You like really see them in the field, which is kind of nice.
Yeah. I bet. Tell me about that shit.
I didn't play it either, but Mitch and Resta both got it.
Midge?
And I played it some with them. Yeah. Because there's this weird option where you can play it co-op.
Oh, damn.
It not only doesn't have a double battle, so it's a 2-on-1, but the opponent doesn't even get to send out 2 Pokemon, but you do.
Oh, what the hell? So you're just like 2-on-1ing?
Yeah.
Damn, okay.
It's weird.
So it's making it super, super easy, I guess, right?
Yeah, and there are double battles in the game, I believe. So it's weird that they don't just make it a double battle against the co-op partner. I don't know. Very strange design choice.
Right. I would even, to be honest, I would even be a lot more inclined to going for Pokemon Let's Go. I guess Pikachu or Eevee, either one of those, before I thought about going into Sword and Shield.
Yeah, I don't know that much about any of the official details of the game and whatever. I think it's out now, right?
Which one? Sword and Shield?
Sword and Shield.
Yeah, they were released, I believe. I believe they were released on Friday, yeah. Yeah.
I haven't been like looking at the reaction.
No, I have seen some YouTube videos on it. Just so that I can like understand what's going on, just because I'm curious, not that I'm really like invested in the games themselves, just because I think it's such a huge thing. Pokemon is like pretty much like the biggest, like outside maybe of like Disney, isn't Pokemon supposed to be like the biggest media sort of conglomerate thing going on?
I think Pokemon makes the most money as a franchise.
Yeah, so it's So like even though I may not be like invested in the games themselves, like it's still interesting to like know what's going on because it's such like a huge deal in terms of like entertainment industry and shit like that, you know.
Right.
I did try starting I don't remember what it is, but like the Gen 1 remakes on the Game Boy Advance, whatever the red
you
one
sent me a
is.
picture.
Yeah. So
leaf green. Right.
I think I started the red one, whatever the red one is.
Fire red.
Fire red. Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's see how far I actually get into it. To be honest, though, I'm starting to get more curious about Gen 2. I do have a card of Pokemon Crystal, but the battery is dead, so I can't use it because it won't save.
Oh, that's right.
I could do that thing and acquire one of the Gen 2 remakes for DS and through means that I'm not going to discuss openly.
Yeah. I believe you already have one.
No,
you know what? I let you borrow the cart.
Yeah, Never you actually mind. Let me borrow the cart. Yeah, but I could acquire it, and that. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like it'd be even more engaging than playing it on the on my Game Boy Micro.
Yeah, Gen 2 isn't bad.
I've heard Crystal is supposed to be like a really good game.
It is. I just think the remake is. It's just better to be playing the remake, in my opinion. But they're both good.
Of course. Yeah. So like, I may actually look into that, and again, add one more game to my fucking extensive backlog of games.
I forgot that the save is tied to the battery because I'm pretty sure in Gen 3 it just is like the internal clock, and you can save it without a battery.
Yeah, you can say right. You can save it without a battery. It's just a clock that won't work. But but in Crystal, like you can't actually even like fucking save the game, which means that you would have to play the entire shit in one sitting.
Right. I remember Cam was soldered. He had to solder a new battery on because he wanted to play Crystal one time.
I keep forgetting to go to like the local like watch store to see if they have ever dealt with anything like this.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe that they can help me out because I also do want to like own like a functioning copy of Crystal just for like, you know, just like collecting's sake, I guess.
Right.
Yeah.
And if you play the remakes, you can get the Poke Walker.
Is that what the hell is that?
It's kind of like a Tamagotchi.
Yeah. Okay.
It's like a little Pokemon electronic thing that clips onto your waist while you walk, like a Fitbit.
Would that still work?
It levels up. Yeah.
Okay.
Cam used it when we played.
Would it work
and
with
you can actually catch Pokemon on it in some way. I'm not really sure.
Would it work with a digital copy of the game?
I'm sure. Yeah.
Okay. Good. Okay.
Because even the online the wireless works with the digital copy of the game.
You're right. We did try that. Yeah. You're right. I forgot.
I'm pretty sure the 3DS emulator is just what you'd be using to play anyways in an unintended way.
Yeah.
The game thinks everything is the same.
You're right. Yeah. So just completely 100% switching gears and switching topics and everything.
Okay.
I gotta say, I don't think I've consumed oatmeal, dude, a single time since I left Worcester back in October of 2018.
I don't think I have in a very long time.
What's the deal, dog?
I have consumed it more recently than you have because I had it after you left. I remember I had some oatmeal and
you like messaged me.
Yeah, I told you I was having oatmeal.
Right.
Once I returned home, it takes a while to make in the morning, and I don't really want to do that. I usually just have something quick.
Well, I used to just get the instant shit that you would just like pour milk into it and like throw it in the microwave, so it would never really take that long. Do you like use another kind?
It's like that. Like you microwave it.
Okay.
But it takes 3 minutes. I don't know. It's oats in a box.
It's longer than you want to deal with.
I have it because Rustin and I were at Big Y. We were shopping, and you know that like section where they put all the damaged goods for really cheap.
Yeah, where like the box is kind of dented or whatever.
Yeah, there is like these giant fuselages of oatmeal just for super cheap. We picked them up and we just had an inordinate amount of oatmeal. So I took it with me when I moved out, and I just have a bunch of oatmeal in the cabinet still because it's not going to go bad for a while.
Right. Does it ever? It must.
Everything does eventually.
You're right.
On an atomic level.
You're right. Everything just decomposes. The universe is decomposing.
Yeah.
Like stars, like, you know, there's only a limited amount of stars and they're all slowly like fucking dying and shit. You're right.
Supernova.
Yeah. Yeah. So oatmeal, man. I just haven't had it
Yeah, I'll have some before the next episode. How about that? One thing I like to do is to put some peanut butter and like some chocolate chips or some sort of sweet thing in it, and then just put that in the microwave with it, and it'll melt down, and it'll be really nice and tasty.
Yeah, dude, peanut butter on oatmeal is one of the greatest things that I learned being in Worcester. And I remember the dude who showed me it. His name was Louis Valliere. If you're out there somewhere and you happen to catch this shit, know that I'll always remember you. I remember you, and I remember like you for who you were as a person. But like, if there's one thing that I'll always remember you for, if not for anything else, it'll be for the fact that you taught me to eat oatmeal with peanut butter. That should forever change my life.
That's a touching dedication.
Yeah. I don't really know how to get him to listen to this because I wouldn't really know. I don't know where he is or what he's doing or any of our mutual friends. I don't think any of our mutual friends have any connection to him anymore. I just don't know. I hadn't thought about that dude in a while.
You know, something messed up Americans do is they put sugar on their cereal.
Well, yeah, I guess that's the one American thing that I did grow up with.
Oh, you did that too? Okay.
I do like my Frosted Flakes, man. That shit's hot.
No, I'm not saying Frosted Flakes. I'm saying you put cereal in a bowl and you pour sugar on the bowl of cereal.
But what do you mean by cereal, though?
Like if I had a bowl of Cocoa Puffs or whatever, I put it in the bowl.
And they still add sugar on top of that?
Yeah, then I take a bag of sugar and I pour it out on the cereal.
No way. Damn, are you serious?
I don't. But yeah, people in the South do that. Yeah.
Damn, dude. Wouldn't that make it like unhealthily
disgusting?
Like sweet? Yeah, yes. What the hell? Right. Not only like unhealthily sweet, but actually like unpleasantly sweet.
Yeah. Oh my God.
No, I would never even consider adding any more sugar to my Frosted Flakes, like ever.
I know. Cereal is already sugary.
Yeah. Insanely sugary at that.
Yeah.
Hey, dog, you want to know something funny?
Yes.
Okay, so just for a little bit of background, I don't think this has ever been disclosed. And I mean, I don't know who is listening to this podcast who doesn't know about you and me and what our life situation is.
Mm-hmm.
But if there's anyone out there, we do record this remotely. Matthew is, where are you, man?
I'm in Connecticut right now. By New Haven.
And I am in Tegucigalpa, Honduras, all the way down in Central America. So we do this remotely. And I'm living here. And if I'm not mistaken, I think I heard somewhere that Kellogg's isn't distributing here in Honduras anymore.
Oh.
Yeah, so like you'll go to like the grocery store and you won't see Kellogg's branded cornflakes or Frosted Flakes or any of those, with the brand names. However, I did go into a grocery store, I believe it was last week, and they're making substitutes. And I saw one that was called, what the fuck was it called? It was called Tony Flakes, which was Frosted Flakes, and in the box you just had like the tiger and like the picture of the bowl with the flakes, and then
is it like actually the licensed picture and they just used it anyways?
Yeah, and that's the thing. I don't even know what's going on with that, but it's not Kellogg's branded at all. But the character looks exactly the same, and like Tony is the name of the tiger too.
It's just a ripoff, I assume. Yeah,
I guess so. They also had Melvin Krispies, which I don't think that would translate because the Rice Krispies, the chocolate version, is still like the Rice Krispie characters, right? In the States.
Oh, like the Keebler elves.
Yeah, it's still them.
Oh no, they're Snap Crackle Pop, right?
Right. Because we have those for the Rice Krispies, but then we also have Choco Krispies, which is an entirely different character. It's like a big chocolate elephant whose name is Melvin.
Oh, I don't know if we have that. I don't eat that cereal, but maybe we do. I've never heard of Melvin the elephant.
No, I'm pretty sure it's still just Snap, Crackle, and Pop, except they're just like chocolatey. I think. I'm pretty sure.
That would make more sense.
Yeah, I did see Melvin Krispies, and I also saw Cornelio Flakes.
Cornelio.
Yeah, he's like that's like the Spanish name of the I don't want to say cock, but the rooster.
Oh, the rooster. I didn't know it had a name. Is it on the box?
I feel like an idiot. At least here in the Central American branded Kellogg's cornflakes, his name was Cornelio. You could see like his name printed on the box and whatever.
Interesting. I wonder if it's rooster. Cornelius in America. Yeah, the rooster.
I wonder. Yeah, I'm actually not even sure. We do have Cornelio flakes now. They're just not Kellogg's branded, and I guess that's my fun fact of the week.
Dude, my supermarket got a robot. They're trying to sell it as the way of the future or whatever. but it just wanders into people. It's a robot that's supposed to detect messes, and it's tall. It's really tall. It's like a Roomba, but it's really tall. It's like human tall.
Is it like humanoid though, with like limbs?
No, but it's just like a big rectangle that stands upright on wheels. But the point is, if it's in your way, it's like you can't go around it.
That sounds uncanny and eerie and unpleasant.
Yeah, it has some googly eyes on it, so it's not as bad.
Damn, okay.
It's supposed to identify messes and call them in.
Yeah. Okay.
But it will, if there's like, if someone drops like a piece of paper, like, you know, maybe a coupon, it will like identify that, and it will just sit there in the middle of the aisle and keep like beeping
until someone
and requesting someone come get it.
Yeah. Until someone comes and picks it up. Damn.
It is just always in the way, and it doesn't do anything.
Yeah. That sounds hilarious. I'd love to see that.
It's weird.
What the hell supermarket is this?
It's a Stop and Shop.
It's a Stop and Shop. Okay. I wonder if this is a thing at all the Stop and Shops now.
I saw a picture on Reddit of someone talking about their supermarket had a robot, and it wasn't a Stop and Shop.
Oh, okay.
But I don't know how common this practice is.
Yeah. Damn, I'd love to see that. I'm sure.
I'll send you a picture next time.
Yeah, I would love that. Maybe we can share that on our new Instagram for anyone listening to us. You should go follow us on Instagram if you're not following us yet. That's where we'll post all of our sexy content on.
That was a good segue.
Yeah. I hope you all go ahead and follow that Instagram account and have your minds blown away by the wit of Matthew Peterson and myself.
Of course.
Okay, so I guess Matthew, what did we learn today?
Today, we've learned that you shouldn't install a robot in your supermarket.
Okay.
We've also learned that, you know, kids are dumb. You should just for fun look at the games you grew up playing and see if they actually were as good as you thought they were, because they probably weren't.
Yeah. That's good. That's a good one. Cool. I guess my closing remarks is just my thoughts and prayers to everyone who knew Nick Kirshner, who unfortunately passed away this week, and that's why he couldn't join us today.
My condolences to his family, to Jen, everyone.
And I hope everyone is happy. This is airing out on a Wednesday, so I hope everyone is having a good week, and I hope everyone has a happy rest of the week. Matthew?
Yeah, I feel exactly the same way. I'm going to be a little bummed because I got to go to the wake tomorrow and see his corpse. But, you know, other than that, I'm feeling pretty good.
Okay. All right. I'll catch you, dog. We'll talk about Pokemon because I want to, you know.
Okay, yeah.
You know. Talk about dragons. All right. I'll catch you, dog. Peace out.